round. Vámonos.
Eso, vamos. Sidestep, puro sidestep, vamos. So, aquí va. Vamos. So, acá. Uppercut, la panza.
James Turner for the untouchable true school sports. Let's go, baby. Bow!
Be careful what you wish for because it can become a reality.
Yeah. The untouchable True School Sports Empire proudly presents something the boxing game's been missing. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. All right, so in this video, we're going to talk about a fighter that I really believe deserves some shine because he's very overlooked. He's so overlooked in boxing that even someone like me who prides themselves on covering the overlooked fighters of our sport, even I haven't made a video about him, and I've been knowing about him for years, and he's been a professional for 8 years, and he's knocking on the door of a world title shot, and he deserves some shine. He deserves some praise. He deserves to be talked about a little bit here, and that's none other than flyweight contender Ricardo Sandoval. Yes, really good fighter, someone that, you know, I think in 2025 does fight for a world championship because as it stands right now, Ricardo Sandoval is your number 2. Ricardo Sandoval is your number 2 ranked WBA flyweight contender, but he's also ranked number 4 in the WBO, number 7 in the IBF, and number 5 in the WBC. So he's a legitimate contender, and he's been around for a long time. So let's talk about Sandoval because I remember hearing about him years ago when he fought Jay Harris, the former world title challenger, and beat the brakes off him. But he's had an interesting career because I look at Ricardo Sandoval, Mexican-American fighter, and then I look at Bam Rodriguez, Mexican-American fighter, 2 fighters in a weight class from the West Coast, and they're both very talented, but they both had different careers. Like Bam has had all the investment from Tekken Promotions. He's had Robert Garcia behind him, very influential figures in boxing. He's on the pound for pound list. He's ascended to superstar. He's ascended to pound for pound stardom in boxing and recognized as one of the top fighters in our sport. Ricardo Sandoval, on the other hand, he didn't have a major promoter for years. He just got a major promoter within the last couple years when he signed with Golden Boy. And he hasn't even been able to afford the chance to fight for the world title yet, despite having one of the most impressive records on paper in the division. He's 25-2 with 18 knockouts. You know, these weight classes, the people always like to say that the flyweights can't punch, which I don't agree with. There's a lot of guys in the lower weight classes that can absolutely punch and thump their way to victory, and he's one of them. He's got 18 knockouts in 27 fights. That's 72%. He punches with bad intentions, and he's someone that I just think really and truthfully, because he's a U.S. fighter in a division where there's lack of U.S. investment, he should be further along in his career, in my opinion. But, you know, God is the best of planners, so who am I to say? But I just think for the skill level and the talent he does have, he should have been fought for the world title. And up until maybe an hour ago when I started really digging into his career and watching him fight, maybe this is someone that Bam Rodriguez should have fought before he left flyweight. I would have loved to see those two fight. You know, that would have been for a really good fight. But, you know, it is what it is. So as far as Sandoval, style-wise, when I classify him, he's an aggressive precision puncher. Very, very, you know, punches with bad intentions. He's not going in there to box or anything. That he's going there to fight, and he does it behind a very educated jab, and he does it behind punches with bad intentions. He's a really good body puncher. Loves to counter as well. Just overall a guy that he's trying to beat you up. Like some fighters, when they go in and they punch, they're kind of going through the motions. They're not really punching through the target. He's punching through the target. He's trying to hurt you. He's trying to hurt you, render you unconscious, and let you know that you're in a fight. So I like that about him. His resume does have some substance. You know, the 3 most notable names on his resume, 2 of them were wins, one was a loss. The 2 wins came against, one was in his last fight. He knocked out former world champion Angel Acosta, which is obviously a good win. And then he, one of the first fights I'd seen of his years ago was when he knocked out Jay Harris, who challenged for the world title against Julio Cesar Martinez, and he's a you know, got a good level, so that's a good win to have on your resume. And then in 2022, he had the tough loss by majority decision to David Jimenez, and David Jimenez went on to fight Artem Dalakian in a fight that, you know, a lot of people thought he won against Dalakian, but a lot of people thought Ricardo Sandoval beat David Jimenez. So it's funny how boxing works sometimes. But David Jimenez is a top fighter as well. David Jimenez beat the brakes off of John Scrappy Ramirez, who was another top Golden Boy prospect. So that being said, Sandoval needs his shot, and I'm hoping in 2025 if there's a fighter that I would like to see get a shot at a title, it's him, because he's not going to be in the headlines for talking. He's not really a talker. There's not a ton of media coverage on Ricardo Sandoval, but I think he's a really good fighter. He can really fight his ass off. I mean, he's number 2 in the WBA, so that means that the guy he's closest to fighting would be the WBA champion, Seigo Yuri Akui, who I just interviewed recently. Check it out. Check it out on True School Sports. It should be out already by the time you guys see this video. But Seigo Yuri Akui, really good fighter. I think him and Ricardo Sandoval, the way they fight, that would make for like a top fight, a really exciting fight. Two fighters that look for knockouts and punch with bad intentions. One from America, one from Japan, Mexican American versus Japanese fighter, makes for a great fight. I think that's actually one of the most exciting matchups that can be made at 112 for 2025. So I hope he can get that fight. And if he doesn't fight him, maybe he gets ordered to fight in an eliminator fight against the next contender, which is Puerto Rican Olympian Yanquier Rivera, who's on the fast track towards world championship level and getting a world title shot himself. He's another good fighter. So Ricardo Sandoval, he comes from humble beginnings. I was reading about his story a little bit. His family's from Sinaloa, Mexico, and they relocated to Rialto, California when he was very, very young, and worked in his family's tire shop at the age of 6, and he knows a lot about hard work, and he's not gonna be one. He's very humble. He's not one of these fighters that you're gonna hear talking shit. He's not one of these guys that's gonna make headlines for talking. He's the epitome of doing his talking with his fists. And I'll tell you guys, if you've never seen Ricardo Sandoval fight, if you don't know about Ricardo Sandoval, I know in the lower weight classes, generally speaking, that right now Japan is where it's at. There's a lot of Japanese fighters that are making noise, but this is a guy that deserves a lot of attention. This is a guy that deserves some light shine on him, because he's not only is he a good fighter, because there's plenty of good fighters in boxing, there's plenty of high-level fighters in boxing, but in these lower weight classes, he's someone that's punching with bad intentions. And then he's the kind of fighter that would break him, Kenshiro, Seigo Yuri Akui. These are the kind of fighters, Masamichi Ibuki, these are the kind of fighters that break the narrative of, oh, the guys in the low weight classes can't punch, because that's not true at all. He's sporting a 72% knockout ratio, and when you watch his fight, you can definitely tell he's punching like that. So yeah, I wanted to give him his shine, and I'm making more effort to cover his career, because I like him, and I don't like it's crazy like seeing him, and I'm not throwing salt on Bam Rodriguez, but it's just funny, like him and Bam Rodriguez both train in California, both Mexican American. One guy's pound for pound star, one guy barely ever gets talked about, but both of them are like top fighters. And I never thought I never realized until an hour ago that that's a fight that should have happened. Bam Rodriguez versus Ricardo Sandoval should have happened, but that just shows you how underrated he is. The fact that he wasn't even enough on my radar to even call for that fight. So shout out to Ricardo Sandoval, man. He really top fighter. Been grinding for years. I mean, I've been hearing his name for years, 4 or 5 years, and he didn't have a promoter for years, but now he does. So hopefully Golden Boy delivers and gets him that title shot in 2025. So yeah, that's my take on him. Leave your comments down below. What do you guys have to say about Ricardo Sandoval? Make sure you guys take the time to subscribe. And like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just a kid from Daniel. So until next time, take care, guys. Thank you for watching another video on the untouchable True School Sports Empire. For more great boxing content just like this, make sure you guys click right over here. Keep watching my boy BT put on the best interviews out here.